K-pop auntie Carly. And this is ATEEZ. Where do I go? Coming in from for a break from mowing because it's getting hot out, so I thought I would give this a listen and then go right back out and finish up the backyard at least. Alright, after this I'll have 2 more songs and we'll be through the album. I'll probably tomorrow though take a look at some of their content real quick. I don't want it to get too old. I know y'all wanted me to check out the Shoulder View and the Spy game, so let me know which one of those you would like me to tackle first, and I'll get after it. In the meantime, I have a lyrics version up so that I can also figure out what the message the guys are trying to say here. They've been pretty on theme with their universes so far with this album. But first time through, I just want to listen to the sound of it because they're a little bit all over the place on their sound so far. And not all over the place, but they're definitely mixing it up. As well as just hearing the guys' voices. A little EDM to it, or that in the background at least. Yes. Like, first impressions are, they had another song like this in the album where the background was a little bit more, like not the background, just the musical arrangement had a bit of a faster pace than their vocals would lead you to believe that it would be sung to. So I have a feeling that means it's going to pick up here soon, because we have the tempo is up on the beat. But their voices are a lot more melodic, which you don't get as much with those faster background beats. Overall, not too shabby. Actually slowed it down a little bit. Still a heavy beat, but the tempo slowed.
There's no monster. 힘이 해준 monster. 외로워도 계속 왜? 모질서 향해 내 혼란. 난 내가 아닐지도 몰라. 거울에 비친 모습이 내 눈빛에 텅 비어 보여. 기억 속 다른 눈을 나는 대체 어딨는지. 하얀 불꽃이 번져 제 만남은 paradise.
Yeah, they do have it the opposite, where you're used to this because the tempo went up a little bit right here from what it was at. You know, it kind of picked up, and you're used to like the beat dropping and just like slamming with this bigger sound. But they kind of flip it and slow the tempo down to these more prolonged notes on the instruments. It changes things up. It's good. You expect it to drop, but softening up the instruments for the vocals. Nice. It's getting a little bit addictive, that prolonged, yeah, that's, I'm liking it more the more I hear it. Sudden ending, sudden ending. Yeah, not too shabby. Like it definitely grew on me the more I listened. I definitely enjoyed the part that I enjoyed the most in that song, the musical arrangement, because they have great voices. On the musical arrangement, the part that I liked the most was definitely when it kind of, you expected this kind of drop to take place, and where K-pop songs usually tempo goes up, 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 and they build, and then boom, there's this explosion, and they just kind of dropped it a little bit and prolonged those notes, and both in the music and in their voices. Like, ooh, there it is. Yeah, that it kind of gets you more into a groove than anything. So I like that. Lyrics. I did hear some English in there that helps me out. You know, where do I go? You know, the title being "Where do I go?" And the English I heard was along the lines of, we're diving deeper. So it seems like it's an answer to "Where do I go from here?" Basically, is, hey, we're diving deeper. Where do I go? Deeper. All right, let's see if that is indeed what we have going on in the lyrics. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be a little relate more to their world again, which you can definitely put different messages onto songs. But the more I've learned about the world, the more I see the connection that it has to that. But you can definitely also, I mean, they have all of these K-pop groups have fictional worlds, not just because it's cool, but because they have a message that they want to put out there. It's not just cool factor. It's they're trying to say something through those universes that they create. Oh yeah, we saw it, like a sandcastle. It's falling again. Great placement of the ad. Lost my way. Land that is losing light. Fall and fall, deep end, while swallowing it. Adventure the fear. Adventure the fear. I don't know about that translation. I might have. I've fallen in the desire, go round and round. Well, so you're swallowing it. You're in the deep end, which means, if you've gone in the deep end and you can't necessarily swim, you're swallowing water. I'm guessing that's what that is. Adventure the fear. That is one where I'm not too sure about the translation, because those are two nouns back to back. Adventure is a noun and the fear is a noun. Let me bring up another one real quick. I noticed that two of the channels that I usually enjoy getting my translations from both had a translation of this. So let me bring the other one up real quick and see if they also translated it like that. Hang on. Alright, I'm going to pop over to this one. It makes more sense, gosh darn it. Okay, falling in the deep end, swallowing and exploring the fear. That makes a lot more sense. So, because that draws a direct correlation to the previous line, where it's, you're falling into the deep end. And if you have ever, I know how to swim from a young age. I live in a place with a lot of water. People around here generally learn to swim very quickly. But I understand the concept of falling in somewhere, not being able to swim, and swallowing down that water, and thus, like, it's kind of a doubling it up there, where the act of drowning is obviously something that brings a lot of fear. But I also feel like maybe they're saying that they're drowning into the fear itself. Like, hang on, I'm lost now. The land is losing its light. Yeah, it feels like it's kind of doubled up, where the land is losing the light. There's all these bad things happening, so there's a little bit of fear associated there, and you're falling in the deep end, and not only is like the deep end the fear, but you're also pouring more fear on top of it because you're starting to drown, and you're swallowing that, but also exploring the fear, which is an interesting concept, because what I've been struck with this album so far is that ATEEZ seems to be kind of embracing the whole span of human emotion. I know that in their in their world, they're having a revolution against a government that has pretty much banned all human emotion, and the temptation when creating a counter-revolution, well, a revolution. A counter-revolution will be a revolution against the revolution. When having a revolution like that, the temptation would be is that the happy ending is this kind of utopia where all of the good stuff is present, but none of the bad stuff is present. You know, it's like, we overthrew this oppressive government that is banning all human emotion, and people can be people again, and look, we can fall in love, we can do this and that. And ATEEZ seems to be embracing the fact that there's all the bad there, too. All of the human emotions cause very bad things to happen. You know, somebody pointed out in the previous song I reacted to that, you know, the word murder is even in there, and a lot of murder happens when crimes of passion. You know, that is what happens a lot. Unfortunately, most homicides are done by people who know you. Speaking of, that's my husband calling. Creepy timing. He's going to call me back in just a minute when he gets out of the area with all the background noise to it. But I wanted to finish my thought real quick that ATEEZ seems to be really exploring this concept of taking the good and the bad. That you can't unban emotions and not have fear involved with that. You can't unban emotions and not have hatred involved with that. Like, yeah, they could have created this revolution, and the big great end story was, look at us all happy now that we get to have emotions. And it's like the emotions are the place where a lot of stuff, like some fear comes around, rolling around, and desire and lust. You know, that's so it's really intriguing if that is the concept that they're going for. It's what I'm getting struck by. It might not be at all what they're that kind of story that they're trying to tell, but it's somehow what I'm picking up on is that they're saying, hey, there's a full spectrum to human emotion, and by simply shunting the bad, that's not the way to go. Like, you have to take it all in and figure it out. You know, you got to figure it out. So that is my train of thought. I'll get back to this once my husband gets off the phone with me for the second time. All right, back at it. It's tangled and twisted and it's dangerous across the line that is fading away. Yeah, I really do kind of get the feeling that they're talking about embracing the full range of emotions. It's tangled and twisted. It's dangerous. You know, yeah, it can be. And embracing your everything about you. It's like, you know, do some deep dives into psychology and everything. And it's, yeah, I have a tattoo. And the tattoo kind of is, maybe that's why I'm getting such a message like that, because it's something that I have embraced myself, that you need to, like, even the worst things about yourself, the things that are temptations, that if you're a religious person, the things that would be considered sins in your life, you know, the things that are vices and just are not healthy for you as a human being, that you can't just put those in a dark corner or bottle them up and ignore them. Like, you have to fully explore what it is about those things, and you have to own it. You know, you have to understand those things about yourself. If you're ever, to a certain extent, you have to incorporate them into yourself in order to figure out, like, what is going on there. And if there's something that can be done, you know, like, I used to have extreme anger issues. It runs in my family. Anger, it really does. And, like, I had to learn how to contain that. Like, not ignore it, not disregard it, but I had to learn how to understand why I was getting angry, like, inordinately angry. I still curse at my computer sometimes, which is an inanimate object, you know, and just, yeah, you have to embrace the things about you that are tangled and twisted and dangerous, and bring them a little bit closer and figure out what it is that makes you tick. As you can't ignore it. It's something that you definitely have to pay attention to in order to not have it, even though you push it into the dark, rule your life. You have to understand it. Cross a line that is fading away. A white flame spreads, and only ashes remain in this paradise. I'm losing myself more and more in this bursting world. Where do I go? Low, 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 diving deeper. Which I kind of, where do I go? Diving deeper. I'm kind of understanding that as diving deeper into yourself, diving deeper into those emotions, diving deeper into what's going on, Where am I? I am deep down, but I don't know if you're falling for it. And that one, I don't know if what they're trying to say there is like, where am I? I'm deep down. Like, I am way down there already. I don't know if you're falling though. Like, I don't know if you're I don't know if you're taking that dive. Like, I don't know if you're swallowing the fear and just going for it and exploring that. Like, I'm already down there. I'm exploring that fear. I'm exploring those things that lie deep down. I don't know if you are. Like, I don't know if you're falling, but I am. That's kind of what I get from that. The word without I in Garambasa. There is no more, my star, it fades away, my sight. The world without I in Garambasa. I do not know the Garambasa reference. You're going to have to educate me in the comments on what that's referring to. And I'm guessing the world without I don't know if it's a novel or something like that. There is no more, my star, it fades away, my sight. A ride that constantly goes up and down, the confusion of the chaos in the feast. That might not be me. Fallout, blowout. Okay, a ride that constantly goes up and down, the confusion of the chaos in the feast. Okay, so there's a feast going on, and there's chaos and confusion in that chaos that might not be me. Fallout, blowout. Jeez, oh Pete's. Okay, let's see if I can, because I think I have to put this together backwards. This is going to be one of my longer reactions because the lyrics need to be pieced together a little bit for me. Okay, so there's this ride constantly going up and down, and the confusion and the chaos and the feast that might not be me. For me, might not be me refers to the feast. That something is feasting, I think something's feasting on me, the feast that might not be me. It may or may not, I don't know. And yeah, this feast may or may not be me. There's just a lot of confusion. There's a lot of chaos going on in this ride that they're taking on themselves. That's a really like that line is this verse is I don't know, verse lines, I don't know, is really intriguing to me because it's a little bit out of order and because it's this uncertainty about what is going on. This idea that it's really hard to put it into words because I'm getting like this confusion, obviously, chaos, obviously, because you're getting like something is being feasted upon. And I don't know if that thing being feasted upon is supposed to be like your own emotions, your own inner turmoil, the ride going up and down. That's usually referred to as, you're on a roller coaster. When people say that, it's usually you're on a mental or emotional roller coaster going up and down. And it feels like in whatever they're singing about, that roller coaster of emotions or the mental state is being feasted upon. And I don't know, they don't even know if it's them that's being feasted upon. They're just really confused and chaotic. Interesting. My own reflection in the mirror. My eyes look empty there. I had different eyes in my memories. Interesting. So where the hell am I? I had different eyes in my memories. That means, like, I think that's kind of relatable a little bit, where when you look in the mirror and you see this face looking back, your own face looking back at you, and you look into your eyes and you see something different in your eyes than you recollect having seen in the past. Like, I don't know if that means, like, I think I was more alive in the past than I am now. Now I'm just kind of the shell of myself. Is kind of the basis there. So where the hell am I? As in, if I'm an empty shell, if I'm not in there, if I'm just kind of a shell of who I used to be, then where am I? Where did I go? Where am I? I used to be right there, but it's an empty shell now. So where is that thing that I used to be? A white flame spreads and only ashes remain in this paradise. Which I kind of like, because that gives you the concept of where is that person I used to be being something that you can get again. Like, where am I? Meaning, I'm out there somewhere. I need to get it back. A new journey. I'm losing myself more and more in this bursting world. Where do I go? Low, 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 diving deeper. Yeah, this is the part of the song that musically and vocally I like a lot. Continues to grow on me. Where am I? I am deep down, but I don't know if you're falling for it. Danger. Somebody takes me away where hope is forgotten. I am going to get out of here, just like I did back then. In what sense and for what reason are you wandering here? Okay, so there's a wandering going on in their ass, which also does connect to a lot of their other music on this album, that it's, the thoughts that in the world that we or their fictional characters are in, there's just kind of this existence that is taking place. And, you're just being consumed by being entertained by the neon bright lights and everything. You're just kind of existing in the same thing over and over again. And I think this is referring back to that, where it's like you're just wandering in this place with nothing's going on. Like, in what sense, for what reason are you wandering here? Like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you just wandering? Because wandering, you don't have a direction when you wander. You are just literally wandering place to place, no idea where or why. So it's asking the question, like, what are you doing here? What's going on? What are you doing? Why are you here? Think, call to action. I think that was one of the more deeper songs on this album. So I'm impressed. Like, I am very intrigued with where they're going and the message that they are giving in this album so far. Because, like I said, it's something. I only have one tattoo, and because I am of the school that if you're going to tattoo something on your body, it needs to have a very deep meaning for you. Just for me personally, that's. If you want to tattoo your body for art, go for it. But yeah, like that message of needing to embrace the darkness and the needing to dive deep and figure out like what those negative things are and bring it to the light. That's very close concept for me, to the point that I tattooed it on my body. So yeah, I like that. This resonates a lot. I'm going to go finish mowing my yard. You all have yourselves a wonderful day.